Earlier this week, this kind of feels like the start of the regular season. You get through the two openers on Monday in Pittsburgh, and then yesterday the home opener, and now the grind begins.
Yeah, as much as we enjoy the pomp and circumstance of the opening day and then the home opener, we really relish the grind of everyday baseball, and that's what we've got from now for the next 6 months.
All right, let's get the highlights from the Cubs Wrigley Field home opener, the 101st opening day in the history of the ballpark, the Cubs 99th. At Wrigley Field. The wind blowing out on a cold day, which is a little odd this time of the year. The entire team being announced to the fans. 4 Hall of Famers throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. And the Cubs got it going early as Wellington Castillo homered off Roberto Hernandez. And through 2 innings, the Cubs had 3 hits. Unfortunately, they would not get another one the rest of the day. So there's the first run of the game, and then an infield hit from Starlin Castro. And good hustle here by Darwin Barney.
Yeah, I just love this replay because you see Chase Utley selling out to keep this ball in the infield. That's his job. Darwin Barney doing his thing, busting it hard all the way, making no assumptions that he wouldn't be able to score. Gets the green light from Gary Jones. Good hustle run there for the Cubs. So up to that point, everything was great. Wayne Messmer didn't miss a note. The Hall of Famers were on the field. The Cubs had the lead. Things were looking rosy. And as you mentioned, they stopped hitting, and the Phillies went on to pretty much carry the day.
Dominic Brown making it 2-1 with the RBI single. Big blow of the game. Chase Utley off Travis Wood. Wood pitched well, but he admitted that was one mistake he made. 2-run homer, 3-2 Phillies. Utley would later help them get some insurance on an RBI single. That made it 4-2 Phillies. Cubs bullpen just could not keep this one close, JD.
Yeah, had a fighting chance, and then John Mayberry Jr. hit the pinch hit, 2-run home run, providing a little extra insurance run for the Phillies, and at that point it was pretty much Katie Barr at the door. And I'm with you, though. I thought Travis Wood pitched really well yesterday. That home run he gave up to Utley, on another day probably stays in the ballpark. Here's the final out of the game. Mike Galt coming up off the bench to pinch hit, and the Phillies able to close it out. Nice win for Ryan Sandberg in his return here to Wrigley.
And it's interesting, the 2 guys starting the game, kind of the 4th starter in the rotation, even though Travis Wood, I think, would be considered number 2 for the Cubs today. And we'll get more into the pitching matchup, but you've got an opening day matchup today.
Yeah, it should be fun today, and that's why you really wanted to get yesterday, because you got Cliff Lee today, A.J. Burnett tomorrow, a couple tough pitching matchups.
We'll hear from Jeff Samardzij's catcher, Wellington Castillo. He chatted with our Kelly Crawl. We'll have that conversation when we come back to Wrigley Field. Of this opening homestand at Wrigley Field for the Cubs, and the Cubs opening day battery in the lineup today. Jeff Samardzija and Wellington Castillo. And with more, let's go down to the field to our Kelly Kroll.
Thanks a lot, Lynn. Yes, Jeff Samardzija making his second start of the season, of course, looking to duplicate the type of outing he had in Pittsburgh. 7 shutout innings. Afterwards, saying he felt very strong, really happy with his location, and was quick to give it up to his partner in crime behind the plate, Wellington Castillo, who I went ahead and talked to this morning, saying, how have you guys been able to get on the same page so early in the season? And here's what he had to say.
That's part of my job. I just, especially him, he's a power hitter. He have really good pitching and stuff, and I just try to be down the strike zone with his fastball, and be after they hit him behind the count. He being available to throw his all speeds. So I think that's what make him really good, because a guy that throw 95 plus and throw you 85 slider behind the count. I think that's pretty good. He's been doing it really good from spin trainer to here.
What Wellington is saying there is something pitching coach Chris Basio has also echoed, saying where he feels like Samardzija has made the biggest step forward this season is being able to trust that off-speed stuff when he is behind in the count. Of course, against this Phillies lineup, though, Lynn, he'll want to get us quickly ahead in the count, throwing strikes and looking for those quick outs, absolutely, after what we saw from this lineup yesterday. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kelly. Terrific matchup today. Jeff Samardzija and Cliff Lee, righty versus lefty. We'll have Cubs baseball coming up from the friendly confines. It's been a very windy city so far the first couple of days here on this opening homestand of 2014. The sun is shining today as we bring you Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Middle game of this series, the Phillies and the Cubs. Great to have you with us alongside Jim DeShays. I'm Len Casper. We're bundled up. It's cold. The wind is blowing in as you usually expect it to here in April. The starting pitching has been very good for a Cubs team that unfortunately has dropped 3 of the first 4.
Yeah, very similar theme to what we saw last year where the Cubs wasted a lot of good starting pitching at the beginning of last season. That's been the case again this year. First time through the rotation, except for Carlos Villanueva. He's been skipped due to off days. He'll work in the ball game tomorrow. But Jeff Samardzija was really good on opening day, pitching 7 shutout innings against the Pirates. A little different look from him in that game. It wasn't dominant in terms of overpowering a bunch of strikeouts. More efficient, strikes early, kind of setting the tone for him against that Pirate lineup. But as you look at the top 4 in the rotation so far, quality work from all 4 of these guys. Samardzija certainly deserved to win. Edwin Jackson was solid in his effort. Jason Hamill continued his good work from spring training. And Travis Wood was good yesterday as well. He punched out 8, walked only 1.
And Samardzija looking to beat the Phillies for the first time as a starter, 0-3 with a pretty ugly ERA. On the other side, Cliff Lee has always dominated the Cubs, but he's coming off one of the worst starts of his career, and it was a win.
Yeah, if you were a betting man and you looked at Samardzija's numbers versus the Phillies and Lee versus the Cubs, you put your money on this man. He's 4-0 with a .90-something against Chicago. But that was then. This is now. He's coming off a very rugged outing on opening day against his former mates down in Texas. He got thumped around. Gave up 8 runs, tying a career high for an outing. So Cliff Lee, he's got a little redemption when he takes the mound today.
The interesting thing about Lee, and again, he got the win because he went the minimum 5. You don't expect a guy of his caliber to have back-to-back poor outings. He's going to be around the strike zone all afternoon.
Yeah, he throws strike 1 more than just about anybody in the game. Only Patrick Corbin of the Diamondbacks threw strike 1 more frequently than Lee did last year.
So Samardzija for the Cubs and Lee for the Phillies, and we'll send it down to the field now for our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise. Kindly remove your caps and join Chicago's only Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons tribute group, the Four C-Notes, as they honor America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That's usually how JD and I sing it in the booth, but of course we're not mic'd up for the anthem. Phillies and the Cubs coming up. Game 2 of the home schedule. We'll have the lineups in the first pitch next.
is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/readyourtv. Rethink possible. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at yourlocalfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Blue skies above, that's good. It is definitely chilly, and the wind is coming in off the lake. But a little vitamin D for your system today in the sun. A little colder in the shade as we get you set for Cubs baseball here on CSN. Cubs looking for a good quality outing and hope that their starter can get deep into this ball game. The bullpen's been pretty busy here early on in the season, especially that 16-inning game in Pittsburgh. Carlos Villanueva, by the way, is tomorrow's starter. He pitched in relief the first 2 games of the season. Cubs choosing to leave their ace Jeff Samardzija on his normal rest, so he'll pitch on his 5th day.
Yeah, I think, Chris Bosio, looked at some numbers over the offseason and found that these guys just didn't really do all that well with extra rest. And you can say that about a lot of pitchers. We are creatures of habit, and guys get used to that throwing program in between starts, taking the ball every 5th day. Sometimes out of necessity, you need to give a guy an extra day or 2 later in the season when maybe fatigue is an issue. Certainly not the case here early on. And the off days kind of give you that opportunity, too, to kind of keep your frontline guys out there as frequently as possible. And this is a day for Jeff to step up. It's very early, but the club's struggling to score runs. They're up against a very tough starting pitcher in Cliff Lee. Another one tomorrow in A.J. Burnett. So it's the kind of game where you want your ace to go, okay, boys, hop on my shoulders, and I'll take care of business for you here today.
Let's get today's umpiring crew. Crew Chief Dale Scott. Tim chomping on that gum. He'll work the plate. Dan Isonia's at first. C.B. Buckner at second. Hal Gibson will handle third. Phillies 2-2. Cubs 1-3 going into today's action. And as Samardzija takes his warm-up tosses, let's get into Ryan Sandberg's Phillies Southwest starting lineup. Revere off to a good start. Jimmy Rollins back, missed 2 games to be with his wife, who had their 2nd child this week. Utley off to a hot start. Ryan Howard back in the cleanup spot today with Marlon Byrd in between Howard and Dominic Brown. Will Nieves makes his Phillies debut. It had been Carlos Ruiz first 4 games. Cody Ashe, the 3rd baseman, bats 8th, and Cliff Lee, the pitcher, 9th.
Let's take a look at the Cubs defensively this afternoon with a tough lefty on the mound. The left-handed outfielders get the day off, so you see the right-handed hitting outfield. Lake in left, the switch hitting at Bonifacio in center. Ruggiano gets a start in right. Mike Holt back in the starting lineup this afternoon at 3rd. Castro and Barney in the middle. Anthony Rizzo at 1st. Wellington Castillo behind the plate. Our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher Jeff Samardzija, as we said, very good in that opening day start. No decision, 7 shutout innings, allowed 5 hits, a couple of walks. He struck out 3 in his career as a starter. 0-3 with an ERA of 14.18 in 3 starts against the Phils. Those guys don't care a lick about that. They just want to watch some hardball and eat some food.
Took Revere about 3 chances there to knock that sleeve off, the weighted sleeve off the bat.
You know you're not a power hitter when you can't get the donut off the bat.
Three hits on Friday for Revere.
Yeah, one of them ahead of the Utley 2-run homer. He's a speed guy. Guy who gets on base can create a lot of problems with his legs. Here's how his day started.
5 times banging it on that on-deck circle.
So if he gets a knock here, does that mean he's going to bang it 5 times next time up?
A ground ball to the second baseman, Darwin Barney, 1 away.
We'll never know. So you got all these left-handed hitters in this Philly lineup. How's Jeff Samardzija going to combat that? Well, if he's got a good splitter going, that could be a put-away pitch for him. The other thing he likes to do is throw that front door 2-seam fastball where he'll start it at their hip and run it back to the inside corner. That's been an out pitch for him against the lefties.
On Monday, Rollins hit a grand slam in Texas for his 200th career home run in what was his 14th consecutive opening day start. That tied the major league record held by Cal Ripken for most consecutive opening day starts at short for one team. .1-0 from Samardzija is popped up. Starlin Castro right behind second base for the second out. Way warmer than it was yesterday. We started at 38 degrees on opening day. Today it's 39.
Is it really 39? No, I was hoping to be a little warmer. I'm cold all of a sudden. I wish you hadn't have told me that. Balls in the air could be a little bit of an adventure today. Bright high sky. Windy conditions.
Just the messenger, partner. You know that.
It's amazing how the mind works, isn't it? Where it works, you know. I'm like, that's not too bad today, and you drop to 39. Like, woo.
I was talking with Phillies bench coach Larry Boa before the game, and he was singing the praises of Chase Utley. One of those no maintenance guys who outworks everybody. A big game yesterday, knocked in 3, including a go-ahead 2-run homer.
Yeah, he hangs in there. He's always hung in there very well against left-handed pitching.
And he drives that ball very deep to right and gone. Into the wind. Not blowing that hard, but he hit it a ton. And the Phillies have a first inning lead.
My goodness, we talked about Utley yesterday. All time on base plus slugging, he is 4th among second basemen. Charlie Gehringer's ahead of him, Rogers Hornsby, and Jackie Robinson. There's your Ford home run replay. Phillies draw first blood. Powerful swing by Chase Utley. You know he's giving it to his manager in this. And man, if I played at Wrigley every day, could you imagine the numbers I'd put up?
Well, he's hit over 300 here in his career. And the cold April weather hasn't bothered him a bit this weekend. Now Ryan Howard. Yeah, the thing about Utley, he's got a powerful swing, but it's a short one. It's not the classic home run hitter swing.
Right. He's quick, compact, and powerful. And that's why he's been so good for so long. You know, he doesn't have to take that big, long swing and expose himself to being fooled by off-speed stuff. So he's been able to draw a lot of walks, hit for a high average, and hit for power. And you see it here. Really quick path to the ball.
Samardzija's 1-1 to Ryan Howard. He bounced a splitter.
Might have caught a cleat. He's doing a little landscaping out there.
This Phillies team has been kryptonite for Jeff. 3 career starts. And coming in 21 earned runs in just over 13 innings.
Swifty by him at 93. We saw him at 97 a couple of times in the opener. There's that two-seam fastball I was talking about, and he likes to start in and try to run back to the inside corner. A real go-to pitch for him.
His 3-2 tapped foul. Only trip to Wrigley by the Phillies here in the regular season. We'll see the Pirates starting Tuesday night. 6 games in all in this opening homestand. Another 3-2. Another foul, that time in on the hands of Howard.
Howard won't be able to complain that he didn't get challenged in this at bat. Wellington Castillo called for the changeup or the splitter initially, and Jeff shook him off. Wanted to throw the fastball, almost got it by the big fella.
He walked him.
That's 2 splits. He's bounced badly, and I think that's why he wanted to throw the fastball on the previous pitch. Right now, he doesn't have a feel for that split finger pitch.
I'll bring up Marlon Byrd. Reached down an error yesterday and scored a run, but went 0 for 5. Talking to him about his stylish sunglasses. He said yesterday was more about wind protection. His eyes were watering out there, right?
Yeah. So kind of have the goggle effect. Kind of the big wide bows, I guess. What would you call the side of a glass? A bow? Is that a bow?
I thought it was a stem.
Stem?
Yeah. But you could be right.
I think we'll go with either.
Okay. Back in your day, you never saw guys wear sunglasses at the plate, but they've made them now where you can wear them for 9 innings, whether you're batting or playing defense.
Because when it first came up, the only glasses anybody was wearing were flip-ups.
Right.
And then Oakley came along. Guys started to wear some Oakleys in the outfield, but never to hit. And then, Jeff Kent and a couple of guys started to wear those orange, like shooter's glasses.
The instep. See the back foot. He had a career year last year. Split the season between the Mets and the Pirates, and he hit for a lot of power. His teammate won the Comeback Player of the Year award, but he certainly was a candidate, and still not quite 100% after fouling that ball off his foot. He swings and misses to end the inning. 1-0 Phils. Leadoff hitter Emilio Bonifacio gets a hit. Denny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to JDRF. He went 2 for 2 in that regard on Wednesday and Thursday in Pittsburgh. Cubs trailing 1-0 on a Chase Utley home run. That's Cliff Lee, and he throws a lot of strikes. And let's check out the Cubs Southwest starting lineup that will face him. Bonifacio will hit righty. Castro, Ruggiano with good numbers against Lee. Rizzo, Lake, Alt in the middle. Castillo, Barney, and Samardzija to round it out. We'll get the Phillies defense here in a second. As you said in the open, he does that a lot. First pitch strike.
68.5% of the time last year. An ugly start to his campaign this year. He's much like his buddy from Arkansas, Travis Wood. Very similar stylistically. A lot of cut fastballs.
And he's one of the fastest workers in the game. You see, he gets the ball, takes a quick look at it, and he's ready to work. Benton, Arkansas, his hometown. Called strike 2. 2-2.
Mini Fanatic made the trip.
Yeah.
So he's got a good cutter. He'll throw two-seam runner away from the right-handed hitters. He'll also throw a four-seam fastball, curveball, and a change.
Bonifacio takes a called third.
How many times last year did we say about Travis Wood? His development took a big step forward because of the ability to throw that pitch right there, that backdoor cutter. The hitter sees it off the plate, gives up on it, and many times runs back to the outside corner. That time it looked like it stayed off the plate a little bit, but the veteran league got the benefit of the doubt. 140 wins against 86 losses in his career.
Pitch to Starlin Castro's low on a fastball. Starlin 2 out of 17. One of those hits an infield RBI single yesterday. And Lee behind in the count 2-0. Last September, Cliff Lee struck out 54 men and he walked 1. And according to Elias, that was a first. Only time ever in a calendar month a pitcher walked 0 or 1 and struck out 50 or more. Line shot, base hit into center for Castro.
Good start to the day for Starlin Castro. An RBI single yesterday. This time a good solid line drive.
Ruggiano sends one down the right field line. Long run, Marlon Byrd. He makes the basket catch. Nicely done. Well, I didn't think he had a prayer to catch that ball, and I was a little surprised Castro didn't continue on, but Starlin read it correctly.
And watch Marlon Byrd out there in right field. He runs directly across towards the line initially, and then bellies out towards the right field corner to track this one down. So he didn't take the best route. On a little out pattern to the corner.
Castro never did get all the way to second base and was easily able to get back to first. One strike on Anthony Rizzo. Also 2 out of 17. One of those hits a home run. Ground ball. Utley the flip. And that should be a hit for Rizzo. Utley didn't have any play at first, so he just wildly threw toward Rollins, knowing that if it missed the mark, really no damage would be caused.
Rizzo came into this game hitting a .118 here in the early going, but he's faced a lot of left-handed pitching. He's faced some very good left-handed pitching. I think he's hung in there and had good at-bats.
Junior Lake with 2 on and 2 down. That was an infield hit for Rizzo. And Lake takes a strike.
Well, let's take a look at the Phillies defensively. You saw Marlon Byrd make that play out there in right field. He's got Revere in center, Dominic Brown in left field. The veterans, Rollins, Utley, and Howard, joined by Ashe on the infield. Will Nieves, the backup catcher, gets the start here this afternoon. Ashe must feel like the the little brother who let the old guys play with him, with this veteran group on the field. I mean, everybody's 35 plus on that infield, aren't they? Except for Ashe, including Cliff Lee.
I think you're right. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Well, just didn't quite get there for Junior.
Yeah. Lee, not an overpowering guy. That fastball will sit 89, 90, 91. Not much more than that, but he does get a lot of strikeouts because of the ability to change speeds and the great command.
Lee was an all-star last year for the 4th time in his career. Nobody has more shutouts since 2008. He has 12. And his 1-2 is hit to the second baseman Utley, and he beats Rizzo to second to end the inning. 2 hits, no runs, 2 stranded, 1-0 Phils after 1. One nothing Philadelphia as we start the second. Ball 1 on Dominic Brown. had 3 hits yesterday. Popped into short left. Junior Lake still coming in. The wind kind of pushing that ball toward the foul line.
Celebrated 100 years of Wrigley Field all season long. Tickets are still available for the rest of the opening week here at Wrigley. The Cubs will play 1 more against the Phillies tomorrow, off day Monday, and then 3 with the Pirates. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Now Will Nieves, 10-year veteran. Padres, Yankees, Nationals, Brewers, Rockies, Diamondbacks, and now the Philadelphia Phillies. Strike 1.
Have Mitt will travel.
Can hit a little bit.
Chew that leather. 297 for Arizona last year. 195 ABs.
Well-groomed beard. Doesn't necessarily help his cause, but I guess it can't hurt. After the high pitch and hit it on the ground on the 0-2. All right, physics professor, how does a guy like Nieves get on top of a pitch like that?
Well, probably a little top hand. And that's a pitch you design when you call for that pitch, and you saw Welly come up out of his crouch a la Yogi Berra. You're just thinking, that's a chase pitch. That's supposed to be a swing and miss. If anything, maybe pop it up. But to hit it on the ground, that's fairly unexpected.
The plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're talking about.
He's way up, and
wow,
it's
a high swing.
That tells you that guy's got a level swing. He doesn't have a big loop or an uppercut swing to be able to get up on top of that ball.
That's a strike, and it's 1-2. Ashe scored 4 runs on opening day in Texas. That was the most by a Philly on opening day since Nat Lajoie, 1900. Official start of the modern era. Balloons this one down the line. It's going to land foul.
Marge able to go 7 innings in his opening assignment because he was very efficient early on. Let's see, he was at 32 pitches for 4 innings, and I may be a little bit out over my skis on that, but that's kind of what I recall.
Yeah, it was very efficient for Jeff. Normally, you see more strikeouts when he's really good.
This wouldn't be a bad time to break out that splitter. See if you can find some feel for it. It looks like they're going to go with that runner inside again.
Already Jeff's 9th year in the Cubs organization.
Good splitter there. Had him out in front.
Yeah, the location of that pitch not ideal, but once you get a guy way out in front like that, the location isn't quite as important. Pitcher Lee is on deck.
Yeah,
3-2.
Yeah, so you want to make a pitch here. You'd rather have Lee leading off the next inning.
And he does. 94, blew it past him. Second strikeout for Samardzija. 1-0 Phils in the second. For the Blackhawks game with Morning Skate Live. Watch the Hawks practice live from the UC. Get a full preview of that night's matchup with the Canadiens. Morning Skate Live this Wednesday at 10:30 live on CSN and ChicagoBlackhawks.com. Big win last night in Columbus. Under 4 seconds to go.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
1-0 on a Chase Utley first inning homer. Mike Olt gets his first Wrigley Field start. He hit his first big league blast on Thursday in Pittsburgh. Well, he's a former Ranger. Maybe this will be a good matchup for him against Cliff Lee.
Yeah. Got that one at bat off the bench yesterday, and it's, I mean, there was a lot of reasons to do it, but guys are not playing one day but playing the next. Low, get out of here. Yeah. So especially early in the year, they appreciate that at bat late just to see some live pitching before the start the next day. Really important to get the guys, your quote unquote bench guys, who don't get their fair share of starts, to get ABs like that. So you see some live pitching. Olt's going to get plenty of starts.
Speaking of matchups, I am definitely going to have to check out some of that Padre Marlin game on TV tonight. Andrew Kashner and Jose Fernandez. That should be a good one.
Where are they? Florida?
Yeah, that'll be in Miami. Ground ball to Ashe. Marlins are 4-1.
You know, a lot of people are bullish on that pitching staff over there. Looks like Giancarlo Stanton's gotten off to a good start as well. They got a lot of really good arms. That's the quickest way to fix a bad club.
Pitch.
Frontline pitching.
Yesterday, Castillo hit his 15th career home run, and there was zero doubt about it. The back of the bleachers and left. Fastball strike. sure Cliff Lee gets excited. I'm sure he gets angry. But I can't recall a moment where I ever saw him show it.
Yeah, he has a lot of attributes that you like in a big league pitcher. The stuff, the location, the demeanor, the mound presence. We talked earlier about how quickly he works. So, you know, he just has an aura of, I'm in charge of the situation here. Every pitch with a purpose. Great guy for young pitchers to watch, to try to emulate.
Rain trust in the Phillies dugout. Ryan Sandberg and Larry Boa. Fly ball to right. As Bird will retire his former Cub teammate.
Second baseman, number 15, Darwin Barney.
Fourth start in the first 5 games of the season for Darwin Barney. Strike one called. Among the changes Darwin made after a rough year last year, he felt like he was a little too big last season. Has spent much of his career trying to gain weight, but now that he's older, less is more, which in theory helps his defense. Had some agility, and he's not a guy who's going to hit 20 home runs. Anyway. Nice chat with him at the end of spring training, and I told him, I said, you showed marked improvement at the plate in spring training. He said, you know, I felt really anxious last year and a lot more relaxed this season. Grinding out at bats like this.
Yeah.
Not jumpy at all.
This is fairly typical of his spring training at bats. With a lot of deep counts, took a lot of walks.
Sets up a 3-2 and a strike 3 on the outside corner. Darwin not so sure about it, but his opinion doesn't matter. You be the judge as we go to break. 1-0 Phillies after 2.
Race to Wrigley presented by Athetico Physical Therapy takes place on Saturday, April 12th. Starting here at Wrigley Field, participants will run through the Lakeview neighborhood and finish under the legendary marquee at Clark and Addison. To register, visit racetowrigley.com. Registration is limited to the first 10,000, so sign up today.
Samardzija starts the third with a strike on Lee. His career, he has homered twice.
Yeah, with lifetime 169. There's that high heater again. This time really getting away.
A little bit outside, according to Dale Scott. 2-2.
Could have been. Oh, you don't want to mess around here. No good fastball. Keep it down. Be willing to get plenty of the plate. So Lee, what do we say? $170 lifetime hitter. That's pretty good for a pitcher. I'm guessing the average major league pitcher probably hits $105, something like that. $120.
That's a good question.
I bet you somebody in the truck could look that up.
Yep. He's gone full on Lee. Walking the other team's pitcher was a problem for this Cubs staff last year. Ground ball up the middle and into center for base hit.
Center fielder, Ben Revere.
To the top now, and Ben Revere.
Always like reaching base on a cold day, so you can get the jacket brought out to you as a pitcher. You remember watching games as a kid when they bring the jacket out to the pitcher. Hey, that's kind of cool. Frankly, I didn't get that many chances to do it, but when I did, I really relished it.
All right, you want to know last year what pitchers hit collectively in Major League Baseball? 132.
132, a little higher than I was guessing. Ooh. Golden opportunity missed in the second deck.
Well, if you are going to wear a jacket, this would be the day to do it. 39 degrees. One and two.
One of the best fastballs he's thrown here today. 94 with a little sinking action. And sometimes there's a tendency to open up a little bit early. That front shoulder will leak, and that two-seam fastball will run off the plate and have more run than sink. When he keeps that front shoulder closed, gets a little better sink, and it stays on the plate.
Late hack that time to stay alive.
In is a good place to go there. When you throw as hard as Jeff does, you get a guy like Revere down in the count, so he's thinking protect. against the splitter and the fastball away, and tough for him to react to that good inside fastball. It was a bit of an emergency hack just to stay alive.
Going up with a fastball here. The pitch is high. Never a good time to mention it, I suppose, but wind blowing in, down in the count, or at least he was. Revere has not homered in his career. He's 1,324 at bats in. It's the longest stretch to begin a career since Don Sutton went his entire career without hitting one. 1,354 at bats, 3 and 2.
How about a position player? Do you have a position player that had a similar run?
Well, Dwayne Kuiper hit one, right?
Kuiper came to mind, yeah.
Castro out, Lake in, and it's the left fielder. Well, Kuip went over 2,100 at least to end his career without one. Homered off Steve Stone in 1977. Strike called on Jimmy Rollins. Controversy in spring training. He and Rhino had a few uncomfortable days in the media. It looked like Rollins was benched for 3 consecutive days in the middle of March. Ground ball picked up by Rizzo. He'll feed Castro. Samardzija at first. And they do it the hard way. 3-6-1 to end the inning. So the pitcher leads off the inning with a single, and then Samardzija gets the top 2 guys to end the inning.
Cubs 1-0 on a Chase Utley home run. Cubs up here in the bottom of the third. Nothing quite as pretty as a double play. 3-6-1 double play. Well executed by the Cubs here in the top half of the third. Jimmy Rollins, he can still run quite well going down the line, but everything just perfectly done here. Rizzo the quick feed to Castro at short. Samardzija bustling over to cover the bag. The return throw on the money. And the Cubs are out of the inning. Things could possibly break down. An errant throw from the first baseman. A lot of times you see the pitcher unable to find the bag. Samardzija, a very good athlete. and he's out of the inning. And because of that, he gets to bat. So he was below average last year because he hit just $113.
That is correct.
But he was above average because he went deep.
And the pitchers are 2 for 2 combined, although Samardzija didn't grind his out. He just jumped on the first pitch.
And we've seen a few of the Cubs hitters go up there attacking. Why not? We talked about his inclination, his being Cliff Lee, to throw strike one. And you know, as an opposing pitcher, he's probably going to challenge early, so he might as well take a whack at one.
Bonifacio, who did something no player had done before him in modern day history, that is have 11 hits in his first game with a ball club. He's 11 out of 20, hitless yesterday and struck out looking in the first today. High for ball one.
So we were talking about Ben Revere and his homerless streak. William Holbert, back in the dead ball era, way back, 1876 to 1888, 2,335 at bats without a home run.
Ground ball, and that scoots past Howard into right. Samardzija's going to hold it second, and the Cubs have 2 on with no outs. You're going back to the beginnings of the National League.
Yeah, that's a more prudent comparison would be made sometime closer to the present. Well, this is what Bonifacio does. It's what he did throughout that series in Pittsburgh. Just spray the ball all over the diamond. Got to take advantage of this. First and second, nobody out. 2, 3, 4 coming up.
Wide for ball one. There's an SI.com story a couple of days ago about the Revere homerless streak using plate appearances. And he has the longest since 1947, excluding pitchers. Two on, nobody out, and the 1-1 to Castro. Look out, Gary Jones. He had to duck out of the way of that hard hit bouncer. 1-2.
Missed a spot, got away with it. They're trying to crowd Castro with a cut fastball. He left it out over the plate. He does a real good job, Lee does, of establishing both sides of the plate. Almost every at bat, if we show you a pitch tracks like we are here, you're going to see pitches off the outside edge, inside corner, all 4 quadrants of the strike zone. He makes the hitter aware of.
Double play ball. Rollins, Utley, Howard on a close play at first. They got him. So Marge is at third, but now there are 2 outs.
Fairly routine 6-4-3 double play. Castro hustling down the line, makes it close. It looked like they got him. He hit into a big double play late in the ball game yesterday.
Ball 1 to Ruggiano. 0 for 7 as a Cub. Rollins will scoop, and the Cubs faced an opportunity here. First 2 reached, but they do not score. 3 complete, 1-0 Philadelphia.
Top of the Cubs here, 1-0, and of course coming to the plate to start off this inning will be Chase Utley, who's hit 2 home runs in the last 2 days. Asked Wellington Castillo what a tough out he is, and he said, you know what, I'm telling Jeff Samardzija, down and in, down and in, down and in, and clearly I think after that first one, guys, he's going to say he left it just a little bit high, but such a tough out, Chase Utley, and once again, Jeff facing him here.
Thanks, Kelly. Yeah, Utley's had a big series, 2 homers, both go-ahead shots. Today is coming in the first inning. And I guess he had a bad spring, which doesn't matter now.
No, I think the Phillies, they just want to see these veteran guys healthy coming out of spring. I don't think they're overly concerned about their numbers. I think that is what created some of the friction between Ryne Sandberg and Jimmy Rollins. Rollins was interviewed about spring training and basically saying these games, they don't mean anything, and they kind of gave a response that Rhino wasn't too happy with. He's trying to ratchet up the intensity a little bit on his ball club. It may have had something to do with why Rollins didn't play 3 consecutive days.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Typically, stories like that in spring training, there's more made out of them than is really there.
Yeah, I would agree. Not a whole lot to write about, usually on March 15th.
Freddie's looking for a story.
Well, and I know Rhino was talking about Freddie Galvis and complimenting his energy, work habits, all that stuff, and then he was asked about Rollins. He said no comment, which kind of fed the thing, and then he regretted saying that, talked it over, and it seems to be fine.
Remember Andrea Kirby?
Name is familiar.
She used to do the Prudential College Football Report with Dave Dials.
Okay, yeah.
And then she later went on to be a media consultant. And when I was playing for the Astros, they brought her into camp. And she talked to the players, and she said, "Never say no comment."
That's a landmine.
Yeah. You can say nothing without saying no comment, I think is the point. You can kind of phrase things, tiptoe around things. But yeah, no comment just gets everybody's radar up.
Because the inference taken from that two-word answer is I have a lot I'd like to comment, but I'm not going to because I shouldn't. Kind of the if you don't have anything positive or nice to say, don't say anything at all. Yeah.
I have no comment.
Did you ever drop a no comment as a player?
I don't think so.
We were talking before the game that the great Mike Schmidt, and the note was he hit 548 home runs in his career. But you wanted it, didn't get it. 3-2.
Yeah, we've seen this a lot with the left-handed hitter. You see the pattern away, 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 and then he tries to freeze him with that inside fastball. It's just not getting the run back to the corner that he's accustomed to. I think he feels a little hamstrung right now because I don't think he's really comfortable with a split finger pitch. So he's trying to make a lot of pitches with his fastball. And he tried a backdoor slider.
So leadoff walk. So Schmidt 548 home runs, 50 of them came at Wrigley. On April 5th, this date, he only hit one homer in his career, and it was off Jeff Pico here. And that led us into a discussion about the final homer Schmidt ever hit. And I did not know that he hit it off you.
Yes.
So that I was just thinking about no comment if you know.
At the vet, I believe. Yeah, I didn't at the time didn't realize it. Of course, you wouldn't because nobody knew he was going to retire at the time.
I like your line. Once he homered off you, that was it.
He had reached the pinnacle. Probably it was more like I'm not leaving until I take this good for nothing soft tossing. Well, he was menacing. I remember a spring training game one time in Clearwater when I was pitching. I went 3-0 on him. And I got the ball back and I turned around and I'm rubbing it up, and Craig Reynolds, our shortstop, had moved into shallow left field because he knew what was coming. Give him a 3-0 fastball. Ooh, look out. Howard's thinking, trying to yank one out of the ballpark. You might get him able to get him to roll over on a two-seamer down and away. That's what they're going to try here. Maybe get yourself a ground ball double play.
Make sure you follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, all season long on Comcast Sportsnet and CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Utley at first, nobody out. We're in the fourth. First run of the season on the Utley home run allowed by Samardzija, who went 7 shutout innings on Monday in Pittsburgh. Here's a pitch, lifted foul, out of play. We'll cap the Mike Schmidt discussion, the all-time leader in home runs in Phillies franchise history. Howard is second with 312. He also leads their franchise in home runs among left-handed hitters.
It's a pretty good battle here. Samardzija's made some quality pitches to Howard in this at bat. Tapped that one at the plate foul. That's the one he wanted to get the ground ball on. Elevated the next one a little bit. Again, I think This is a situation where he'd like to break out that splitter, but just doesn't feel real comfortable with it. Doesn't want to make a mistake to this guy.
Punched out in the left. Lake on the move, the slide, and he does not have it. That'll be a base hit for Howard. Good effort by Junior. Thought he had it in his glove, and he didn't. Well, he did have it. But as you said the other day, the ground can cause a fumble in this game.
Yeah, just at the last, as he rolled over, it squirted out on him. Would have been a heck of a catch. A very timely one, but instead it's first and second, nobody out. So the Phillies in the same situation here as the Cubs were in the bottom half of the previous inning, and Cubs were not able to cash in. So if Samardzija can work his way out of this pickle. Phillies with one of the oldest teams in baseball, one of the highest payrolls in all of baseball. It's kind of been a running question the last couple of years. When will the Phillies blow it up and rebuild? And Ruben Amaro Jr., the general manager, thinks his boys have got a little more left in the tank, doesn't want to move on from this group. And it's a tough thing to commit to doing because Phillies baseball has been very popular over the last few years. Huge television ratings, packing the house every night. That run where they won 5 consecutive division championships.
Kind of similar in some ways to the Yankees. Guys who, the back end of their careers. Popped up, shallow center. Infield fly rule as Barney makes a catch. One away, now it's Brown. Their team in homers last year.
There's a misplaced Cardinal fan down there behind home plate. They got whacked pretty good by the Pirates last night, did they not?
Yeah, they did. Pedro Alvarez hit 2 homers. Travis Ishikawa also went deep. 12-2 Pirates the final. Matt Carpenter supplied the offense. 2-run homer for St. Louis. That ball will drop down and the Phillies will add to their lead. Here's that guy Utley to score, and it's 2-0 on Dominic Brown's RBI single.
Boy, good pitch too. I mean, that thing is off the plate and down, but it's running away, not sinking, so it's easier to get that ball airborne than a ball that's got good sinking action on it. But still, that's a good pitch. Just a nice piece of hitting by Dominic Brown. And similar to Howard's approach, a willingness to go the other way. They cash in that leadoff walk.
On the Avis, I mentioned decade in the big leagues. Ground ball to third. That'll take Olt right to the bag. High throw, no problem for Rizzo. Double play to end the inning. Phillies do add to their lead. It's now 2-0 in the fourth. Robert Latterell, currently serving with the 335th Training Support Battalion. Cubs honoring him today. Lives in Hartford, Illinois. And he's a U.S. Army observer, coach, and trainer. Well, 5-3 double play getting Samardzija out of the inning with 1 run allowed.
Theme of the day here. A nice double play this time. Ooh. Did he whiff?
Like he did. Can't review it now.
See if he brushes it when he kind of sweeps his foot by. Nope.
Breaking ball on Rizzo, strike 1. 2-0 Philadelphia.
Not a bad idea to step out, take a couple practice swings against Lee. He works so quickly. Sometimes you got to take a little time, try to knock him off his rhythm.
It's not been a good week for the Coliseum in Oakland. Mariners and A's were postponed last night. The night before they did not put the tarp on the infield and it rained. That's a fair ball on the line and a good idea for Nieves to pick it up because he had time to get the out.
Yeah, with a fleet-footed guy going down the line, maybe you think, well, I'm going to let it roll foul because I'm not sure I have a play, but knowing the base runner, knowing where he was on the field, how much time he had, a smart play. Tomorrow, Jose Abreu and the White Sox close out a 3-game set with Billy Butler and the Royals. That takes place in Kansas City. Coverage begins at 12:30 with White Sox pregame live, presented by Orland Park Toyota. White Sox Royals tomorrow at 12:30, right here, Comcast Sports Net.
Yeah, I want to ask Roger Baird next time we see him. We're talking off the air about tarping the infield overnight during the regular season. You wouldn't want to do it every day. You want the grass to grow, and I'm sure having tarp on it even overnight is not necessarily good for the grass. But I guess what's the percentage? There's a 25% chance of rain. You put the tarp on. I don't know, but
yeah, I would
cost
think
the A's a game.
Yeah, I would think.
We're going to have to make that up later on. You wouldn't think they could play at that ballpark for much longer. But I don't know what the resolution is.
Yeah, I know. There seems to be momentum building, for them to move.
2-2 to Lake. Howard can't get that one. Lake around first. He's on his way to second. Here's the throw by Bird, and it's a little late. That's a double.
Fifth hit of the day for the Cubs. First for extra bases. Sharply hit. Eludes Howard. Good hustle by Junior Lake. That's our Xfinity high-speed action. RBI chance for Mike Gould.
Rounded to third his first time up. Inside corner strike. Low that time. Masahiro Tanaka got a win in his major league debut. Yankees beat the Blue Jays last night 7-3. Went 7 innings. See the Yankees on this upcoming road trip. 2 games in New York. Charlie Blackmon had 6 hits for the Rockies.
6 for 6, eh?
Over the Diamondbacks.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, Junior got a little loose out there and was able to scramble back. Trying to time his jump before Lee went to home plate, and Lee was able to make a spin move on him.
Cue shot, and Lee will tag Alt. Lake now advances to third, but there are 2 gone for Castillo. Well, the Diamondbacks off to their worst start since their expansion year. They're 1-6.
Catcher number 5, Wellington Castillo.
And they've got some injury issues. Patrick Corbin's down. One of the other starters. One of those starters nicked up too.
Talking about the Rockies?
No, the Diamondbacks.
We saw Arroyo had the back issue, but it looked like he was all right. Ball 1 on Castillo.
First home run of the year yesterday for. That's not a strike, Dale. Is it? Let's take a look. No. Well, Welly with his first home run yesterday. He had 8 last year. He had 15 in his best minor league season. I think he's capable of that at the big league level.
Home run cut that time, 2-2.
Hasn't made many mistakes over the heart of the plate. This is a little floating changeup. He makes very few mistakes with his fastball.
And Castillo strikes out. Lake stranded at third. Off to the 5th. Phillies 2, Cubs nothing. Cubs fan photo for a chance to have it shown later on in our broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. Jeff Samardzija trailing 2-0. Face 8, 9, and 1 for the Phillies.
As a starting pitcher, well, any pitcher for that matter, you come into an inning where it's 8, 9, and 1, and you're telling yourself, 0. No way I'm giving up a run in this inning. I mean, you take that mindset every inning that you want to post a 0, but you expect to do it for sure when you got 8, 9, 1 coming up.
Strike to Ashe. Jake Arrieta scheduled for a rehab outing with AA Tennessee on this Saturday as Lake will camp underneath this fly ball, 1 away. Chris Bryant gave the Smokies their first win of the season last night. Hit a home run. They won 1-0. They're in Pensacola again today.
So that's his second home run already.
2 in 2 games. Lake again, this time retiring Cliff Lee.
Not only getting out, but getting out quickly, perhaps. Treat your guests to an awesome view of Wrigley Field from the Budweiser Bleacher Suite. The Bleacher Suite features a sports bar atmosphere with new TVs, high top tables, and a one-of-a-kind Wrigley Field experience. The suite can hold up to 100. Includes food, drinks, and parking. For more information, visit Cubs.com/suites. The Budweiser Bleacher Suite. Good place to hang out and watch a ball game. Two quick outs. He knew Revere would likely be taking all the way, so just channel a fastball through there and get the jump.
A base hit to keep the inning alive. That'll bring up Rollins. So Joe Sheehan, terrific baseball columnist, analyst, recently wrote in his newsletter about Rollins, and he has him as the 6th greatest Philly ever. He's got the guy on deck as number 5, Chase Utley.
Wow.
So you ready for the list? Greatest Phillies ever, regardless of position. Schmidt. Carlton. Robin Roberts. Richie Ashburn. Utley, Rollins.
No Rick Shue.
Didn't see him on the list. Steve Jeltz. But
that's a pretty good list.
It does put in perspective how
good these guys. Yeah. Well, they've been here a long time. They've had a lot of success, and they're really good players. Jimmy Rollins, one of only 6 shortstops to win the National League MVP award.
Revere runs, pitches a strike. The throw was in time, but it was in the dirt. Got away from Castro. So Revere with his 3rd stolen base of the season.
Not a real big lead, just trusting his speed to outrun the ball. A little short on the throw, and Castro not able to pick it. Unfortunately, no further advance for Revere.
The kick and the 1-2, a swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. Takes us to the last of the fifth. Still 2-zip Phillies. Five hits for each team, but the Phillies have the runs. 2 to the Cubs, none.
Well, you knew it was going to be tough against Cliff Lee today for a lot of reasons. One, he's really, really good. He's been unbelievably good against the Cubs in his career. He's coming off a dreadful outing, so there's a pretty good chance he was going to be locked in today. Samardzija doing his part, keeping his club in the game.
Ground ball. Rollins will throw to first. He got him. What a play. Can't do it much better than that, and he's a 4-time Gold Glover.
And you're going to see it right here. You'll see the break he gets on this ground ball. It's got a lot of topspin too, but he's just able to snag it before it gets on by into center field. And then the ability to turn and make a good, strong, accurate throw.
Heartbreak for Barney. Thought he had a hit.
Well, I think Renteria wants to take a look, perhaps. Just giving his guys time to review it. You see how he's going to turn around so he can face the dugout as he waits for a word, and apparently he got the word that don't bother challenging.
They got it right.
Yeah, and I think, again, that's going to be a hard one to overturn a lot of challenges on those bangers at first base. More times than not, it's just going to be not just more time, way more times than not. It's going to be call stands because there's not enough evidence to overturn.
Bird coming in, and he will make the grab.
One more look at that Barney play at first base. Yeah, pretty conclusive there that he was out.
Bonifacio came in with an on-base average of over 600, so it's gone down. He's 1 for 2. Rollins can't get this one, and even if he had backhanded it, I don't think he had a shot at the speedy Bonifacio. 2 for 3.
He goes to right field last time. This time he was able to pull the cut fastball from Lee. Most of the hits in this game from both sides have been opposite field hits. That time Bonifacio able to pull that cutter.
So through 5 games, Bonifacio has 13 hits. In 2009 through 5, he had 14. It's not necessarily novel to him, after this type of start. News out of Pittsburgh: Clint Hurdle and Neil Huntington, manager, GM respectively, given 3-year extensions. Club option.
Well deserved. They've done a very nice job over there. Had a sense that was coming when we were in Pittsburgh.
We'll see them again next week. Chopper not hit very hard. Ashe will try to barehand, can't do it, and Castro's got an infield single. Back-to-back hits with 2 outs.
Bonifacio's just beyond the reach of Rollins. This one a little rollover tapper, but it works out just fine for Castro. Ashe coming as hard as he can after the slow roller, but not able to barehand it. Tough ball to barehand. He might have had a better chance trying to glove it and flip it across the diamond.
Now Ruggiano with 2 men on. He's flied to right and grounded to short. Outside, ball 1.
Ruggiano coming into this game and had a little success against Lee. Not a ton of at-bats. He was 4 out of 10 against him. 3 of those 4 hits doubles. That would work just fine right here. The ability to make pitches under duress. A couple guys on, and he paints the outside corner at the bottom of the knees.
Rollins, who made that terrific play to get Barney, the routine 6-4 fielder's choice this time. 2-0 Phillies. Wrigley Field 100 collection, from game-used throwback jerseys in Wrigley Field 100 baseballs to autographed items from your favorite alums and Hall of Famers. Cubs Authentics has the most exclusive memorabilia to commemorate 100 years of Wrigley Field. Visit Cubs.com/authentics all season long for updates on the newest game-used and autographed items. Utley has homered, walked, and scored twice. We've mentioned this before, and we talked about his short swing. He's got a little interesting thing he does when he gets ready to hit. He takes that one last practice swing about as late as anybody in baseball. Waits.
Yeah, we're trying to kind of time up the pitcher.
Right there. Samar just going into his wind, in fact. Flail at that, 0-2.
Yeah, and it's a delicate little procedure. Most hitters have some kind of a trigger or timing mechanism that they use. And if you don't get your hand set and you're not ready to hit, sometimes that's what happens right there. You're just a little bit out of sync timing wise, and that was one of the better splitters that Jeff has thrown here today.
In the dirt, 1-2. Wins above replacement. Stat you see a lot more often these days. Going back to 2005. He's compiled more than anybody except Albert Pujols. Ground ball. Barney will backhand. Throw to first late.
Can't get this guy out. Despite the best efforts of Darwin Barney there, Utley on base for the third time today. Pretty play. Off balance throw. And not close. So Utley was on twice yesterday, including a home run. Drove in 3. 3 reaches today. He's driven himself in. He scored both runs.
Howard grounds it foul past Juan Samuel, their first base coach. Pete McCannon, Chicago native, over at third. In turn 2, somebody's got to get to second, and that's the problem with the shift. And now, good job by Alt to realize nobody was at third.
There's some conversation out there in the middle of the diamond as to how they could have played this differently. If Castro goes to the bag, Barney could have flipped him to feed there at second base, and likely with Howard running, they would have gotten their double play. But your instinct as an infielder is just to go get the baseball.
Comes the manager out to the mound. Talk some strategy here with a base open. You've got a right-handed hitter at the plate, though, and Bird with Brown on deck.
Don't miss the exciting opportunity to go behind the scenes of the legendary home of the Chicago Cubs with Wrigley Field tours. Guided tours include visits to the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. This must-see Chicago attraction houses 100 years of history. Wrigley Field tours are offered every day, game days, non-game days alike. So visit Cubs.com/tours to book yours today.
Utley at second. One out, and the pitch to Marlon Byrd misses. When he was a Cub, for the most part, he did not have a leg kick. He kept that foot, that front foot, just maybe a little toe tap, but that was it. He kept it very quiet. Guys adjust as they move along.
Now, when we talk about Utley with his practice swing and his timing mechanism, that's kind of a funky kick he's got going. So way to make sure he keeps his weight back. We got first base open here. There is a left-handed hitter, Dominic Brown, on deck. There's one out in the inning, so maybe the message from Rick Renteria is, look, we got to get two outs here. I feel more comfortable getting Brown and Nieves out than Byrd and Brown. You're going to face Brown either way. So don't give in to Marlon Byrd here and set up a double play.
Hooked it foul. Still 2-2 on Marlon Byrd.
Pounding him in throughout this at bat.
Good crowd here today. It's cold, but not keep the fans from coming out. Bleachers are packed. Swing and a miss, strike three.
Swing through that helicopter slider. I mean, there was not a whole lot going on with that pitch. It was just the off-speed nature of it that got the job done. Not so much great breaking action, but a big punch out nonetheless. Now they can go ahead and put Brown on, and they're going to.
So they'll go after Nieves instead. Here comes ball four. Runs were a big problem for this Phillies club last year. They finished 13th in the National League, their lowest ranking since 2000.
Yeah, and they play in a very good offensive ballpark.
They also didn't pitch very well last year. In the dirt.
Well, and they finished 73 and 89, 23 games out of first place in fourth. That's what we got. Samardzija on the bump. Utley on second. Brown over there at first with two outs. That's our AT&T UVerse multi-view.
1-0 on Nieves. Here it comes. Played off a slider. 2-0.
The chase slider, but Niev was able to lay off. That was a good pitch.
He was not happy he didn't do more with that pitch.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, because that was a tough pitch to do much with.
Yeah.
Plus fastball moving in on his hands. He's lucky it didn't foul off his shin. I guess maybe he was probably looking in, and so he got the pitch he was looking for.
So Marge is 2-1, and check swing strike. 2-2.
Was able to lay off that first slider this time. Couldn't check.
So Marge nearing 100 pitches. James Russell is up. And the 2-2 swing and a miss on the slider. So Marja hops off the mound. The Phillies strand a couple. Bottom 6 coming up. 2-0 Phillies. Continues from Wrigley Field as Anthony Rizzo and the Cubs welcome in Andrew McCutchen and the Pirates. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Cubs pregame live presented by Fields Auto Group. Don't miss Cubs Pirates Tuesday on Comcast Sportsnet. Anthony Rizzo just trying to find a way to get on base. Bunts foul.
Leading off the inning, thinking like a leadoff hitter. Survival mode now.
Yep. buddy Jeff Garland will conduct the stretch in the 7th. That worked out all right. Not a great start to the at-bat, but Rizzo with 2 strikes picks up the 2nd hit of the day off the lefty lead.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. Well, we talked about it throughout spring training and here in the early games of the regular season. His need to improve his game against left-handed pitching, and he's faced a lot of tough lefties here in the early going, and he's had a lot of good at-bats. So nice to see him rewarded with a couple of knocks here today. The game in Pittsburgh, game Wandy Rodriguez started. He maybe took a 1 for 4 in that game, but hit the ball sharply every time up.
Cubs have 8 hits off Lee. Phillies have 6 versus Samardzija. Ground ball. Rollins to Utley, and that'll be it. Lake runs too well.
And Rollins has to take 2 or 3 steps to his right, retreat a little bit to get that ground ball. So no way you're going to double up Junior Lake unless he blows out a hammy going down the line. He hangs in there, tries to make the turn anyway.
Oh, and 1 on Alt. It's grounded out twice. Last year derailed by vision problems in the Rangers organization. Fly ball to right. Wind's going to help Bird a little bit here as he makes a catch in foul territory. With 2 away, it's Castillo.
Very difficult to even contemplate trying to steal a base off Cliff Lee. Last year only 5 tried. 3 made it, 2 were caught.
Make it sound like trying to escape Alcatraz.
Don't even try it. And I'm curious, the ones that were successful, I wonder if they were second or third base. It might be easier to get third off of him. Lefty's generally a little tougher, and he's so quick to home.
And he's also ahead 0-2 in the count. Russell joined by Grimm. Justin Grimm, the right-hander. Lee has struck out 3 today and has not walked anybody. He has struck out 4. Through 6, leading the Cubs 2-0. Continues to be the Executive Club at Wrigley Field. Your guests will enjoy an all-inclusive top-shelf bar and gourmet food in this high-end space with seventh-inning stretch celebrities and former Cubs. For information, 773-404-4200 or Cubs.com/suites. Jeff Garland, hello.
I was just up there creating a lot of excitement.
You were?
Yeah, there was so much excitement because I was up there, and it was.
We could sense a ripple.
It was a ripple that went through the Executive Club. Samardzija felt it.
Still working here in the 7th. How are you, Jeff?
To tell you the truth, from where I'm sitting right now, I could not be better. This is amazing. Amazing to me every time. And this is, it warms my heart.
We saw you before the game yesterday as Ashley strikes out swinging, bring up Lee, and told us you were going to sing today, and we had a good time across the street. People were out drinking and having fun at, 9 in the morning?
Yeah, it confuses me. I mean, a lot of alcoholics, I guess, love the Cubs. Because if you're drinking at 9 in the morning, there's a problem.
Like a little Leinenkugel in the oatmeal.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody's dad did that. No, it makes no sense to me. But, you know, everybody's excited for opening day. Everyone's excited. I know I'm excited.
Sun is out. It's cold, but...
No, I'm warm.
But you are warm because you're here with us.
Can I tell you something? Yes. And, you know, I mentioned to you guys that I watched the 16-inning game. And I got to tell you, you guys do a great job. That was just so enjoyable. You made it enjoyable. A cold night in Pittsburgh, and it was great. I was so happy. I went out and I saw the beginning of the game, went out and did a show, came back, 4 extra innings for me. Oh, that was great. And you guys are fantastic. Fantastic.
Trying to get a little punchy in a 16-inning game. But
yeah. No, you did a great job. Really great.
I remember as a kid doing that. If you came home and you turned on the TV and the team was, you mentioned that too, the team was on the West Coast or it was extra innings, it felt like bonus time.
See, I don't get that on the West Coast because, you know, even if it goes extra innings, it's over 11.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But whenever I'm east, we're here in Chicago. Oh, it's so great, you know, to get a game like that.
Well, I think also you get past like the 12th inning and all of a sudden the pitching starts to thin. And as fans, there's like this cult thing where you're like, can we stay up all night? How long can it go? You know, you want your team to win, but then there's also, well, let's go 20 innings.
Well,
if we're
but when
go
you
16.
said, Jim, you said, let's go for the record. Why not? We were so close.
We were knocking on
and
the door.
Then the game lasted 30 more seconds after you said that. It was like it was over. And who's pitching tomorrow? Hector Villanueva?
Carlos.
Oh, Carlos Villanueva.
Yeah, Hector was here 20 years ago. But
have you ever seen Hector?
I have not met Hector.
Hector he was one of my favorite Cubs. He was a freak of nature.
Took me deep a couple times in one
Did
game,
he?
I think. Yeah.
Oh my God.
3-2 called, strike 3.
Wow, this is a good inning. This is a really good inning.
So you're singing here in a second.
Yes.
Tell us about your show, The Goldbergs.
Wait, are you getting rid of me before, after I've done?
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We hope this goes fast,
but
I want to get this in.
Is this the new way that you don't talk after you talk before?
We talked to you before and after last
time.
Okay.
Yes, I know, but the way the Goldbergs is on ABC, it's a great show for the family. All Cub fans should watch, even though it takes place in dreaded Philadelphia.
Okay. There we go. We got the plug.
Yeah, I've worn a Phillies hat on the show. And believe me, that makes me nauseous, yes. I'd like to wear a Cubs hat, but it takes place in Philly. What can I do?
If they pay you, you wear the hat.
Yeah, I guess. You know, they can't make me off camera say I love the Phillies. On camera, I'll go, oh, yeah, go Phillies.
1 strike on Revere. No, we'll keep you after. Don't worry about it. I just didn't want to.
Because I want to talk about a movie that I've got out.
Okay.
All right. But I have no agenda. If you don't even want to talk about the movie.
Know.
My only agenda is to say hooray for the Chicago Cubs and hooray for you two gentlemen because you're kicking ass. I can say ass, right?
You just did, yeah.
I know, twice. Look at me. I'm a rebel, Daddy.
Living on the edge.
Living on the edge.
1 and 2. This is probably it for Samardzija.
Do you know that I cut Samardzija's hair? People don't know that.
You have or you do?
No,
routinely?
I do. Routinely, yes, I have. I gave him that look. I said, He came in with really normal hair. I said, grow it out, then come see me. And then I cut off everything up front. And I said, just let it hang down the back, and people will question you. I have no idea what I'm saying. But I can tell you this, that is a haircut.
I've never seen him with short hair, ever. High school photos, college.
By the way, he's a handsome guy. What the heck is he doing with that hair?
It's a statement.
It's a statement that he has no taste. That's a statement. It's a fine picture.
Wow. All right, here you
Look
go.
at
You're
this.
singing Stand Up.
Right,
Here we go. We'll be back with you.
Do I keep this on or take this off, right? Take this off.
Conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, actor and Chicago native Jeff Garland.
All right. Let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame for it. You're out at the old ball game. Hey, it's warm out. The Cubs are playing. It's warm. It's warm. Thank you.
Transportation to get to and from Wrigley Field. You can ride your bike and use the Cubs courtesy bike check located at the corner of Clark and Waveland. The Cubs provide free parking for drivers and shuttle services on night and weekend games from 3900 North Rockwell. Go to Cubs.com for details. Cubs trail 2-0. We're with Jeff Garland. Nice job with the
spent
stretch.
about 2 hours last night at Cubs.com just looking at all the parking and shuttling information.
Got it.
And I got to tell you, fantastic. Now, I got a quick question for you. Is Darwin Barney wearing a hood?
Yeah, he does have a little.
Yes, he does.
I've never seen a ball player with a hood before.
Well, I think it's the thing that you put on that Castro had on that kind of
I know,
covers.
but he's hanging on the back. I've seen
hanging.
the players on their heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, we like to call it a cape.
It's a cape. He hits a homer. It's the teeniest cape. It's like my son has a Batman towel that from when I was a kid. This old, Adam West Batman towel, with a cape thing. He used to run around.
You had your wrestling mask with you yesterday, which was kind of fun.
I did have it with me. And the thing is, it was just sitting up here last year. And I said, should I wear that? And you dared me.
Yes, I did.
And then I did. What's the big deal?
Jim
I'm a little too controversial up here. I don't like it.
Hot that night too. I never was hot.
Yeah, it
night.
was.
It's 9 million degrees. I know.
JD and I know you too well that you always take the dare. You can't help yourself. So
I will always take the dare. Why not? But I just wanted to say, there's a movie that I produced called Finding Vivian Meyer. It's playing here in Chicago. It's about a nanny here in Chicago who it was discovered after she passed away, one of the great street photographers of all time. And it's
just a story in the Tribune about that this morning.
Yes,
right?
yes, and it's an amazing story. Please be a hit.
Nate
Please be a
Scherholtz.
hit. Yes, Nate Scherholtz.
Off the bench. That'll bring
All
the
right,
time
that'll
run to the
start
plate.
something. Let's start a rally. It's not as bad as it was for me last time when I wanted a bunch of solo homers, I think. I said, we're down by like 11. And I said, let's get 11 solo homers. No one's ever. I wonder what the record is for most solo homers in a game, let alone most solo homers in a comeback.
These are good questions. I'm
Because
going
it's
to guess
strange,
like 5 or 6 in a game, probably.
Yeah. How many?
Solos.
Solos, yes. Because that's always a strange thing, especially for a comeback. Is that Jim Bunning pitching?
It's crafty Cliff Lee.
Still Cliff Lee. I thought Jim Bunning came in the game. Cliff Lee, what a great pitcher.
Has been terrific today and was not good on opening day
No,
in
he's
Texas.
not. They all have bad days. But to come to the ballpark and have it be Lee versus Samardzija, what a fantastic thing. And I am warm, I'm not cold at all.
No, well, it's
Wrigley Field and it's sunny out.
Because they got a space heater down here on the floor. Make sure you don't set your shoelaces on fire.
Oh, I didn't even see that. No, I was talking about my face.
It's not bad today.
How many people are here at the ballpark today?
30,651. Did you meet Ron Coomer?
I did meet Ron Coomer. And by the way, listen to him do a couple ball games. He's doing a great job. Great job.
Love having Ron aboard.
And it's so much fun to hear Pat just say the word Ron.
There's Coom Dog.
Can I tell you something? I love Pat Hughes. Pat Hughes is just amazing. Just joyful at the ballpark. Pat Hughes.
He's the best.
He is. You know what? He may be the best.
You're absolutely
That's the truth.
Right. Called strike 3 to get Bonifacio.
If only Bonifacio had been wearing a hood.
We should have Pat do play-by-play of you joining our booth.
And Jeff
Jeff
Garland
sings
is
the
talking.
stretch.
And I got to tell you, if only Seattle Sutton were here. Because Jeff loves it. I just, my favorite thing to say, and I say it all the time. People tweet me this all the time. Acapulco taco pie, because that was from the commercial with Ron.
Yeah.
Seattle would say, Ron, what's your favorite? Seattle, I like the Acapulco taco pie. And there's so many people at home right now who are disturbed by me, who are upset that I'm here. I know this. Don't think if you're watching and I'm bothering you, I know. I'm so sorry. It's a baseball game and I'm taking you out of it. Just know I love the Cubs, too. We have that in common.
1-1.
Yes. Yeah.
This next pitch for Lee will be his 100th.
Do you know the only Cub that I have on my fantasy team is Javier Baez?
That'll get into right.
Yeah! Wow!
Castro's got a hold. Throw back to first, and he's safe there.
That was close. Way too close. No, I'm waiting for Javier Baez, and then I'm going to destroy my league.
So you're in one of those keeper leagues where you get to keep
Not
the guy?
keeper. No, but you can pick him up. I did that last year. I had what's his name for the Dodgers?
Puig?
Puig, yeah. I don't know why I can't remember his name now. He's in the paper every day.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine having a team meeting and then showing up late. A team meeting, hey, pal, get it together. I will. Late. Crazy, man.
Yeah, that narrative is he's had to apologize to teammates like 3 or 4 times now, right, in the last
and
couple
he's
years.
so good. He's so talented. Just get it together. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Javier Baez, though, I know for a fact, is just a lovely person.
Yeah,
I actually don't know that for a fact.
No, he's going to be at this level. He's going to be very good.
Oh, yes, he
Very
is.
good.
But I'm not kidding. I have him on my bench. And I have 4 pitchers in the minors, too.
Well, you take this seriously,
I
then.
do take fantasy
You're
baseball
scouring
very
the box
seriously.
scores, yeah.
I do. I usually win, too. And what helps me a lot, as opposed to picking a ball player who might be pretty good in their last season or two, I will pick up possibly a great young person that you bring them up and they, do some damage, pitching-wise and stuff.
Are you on like an internet league with
Yahoo.
anonymous people?
No.
Or are you with
I
friends
did anonymous last year I said I'm going to take a break because I'm the commissioner every year, and it was horrible. These people were so mean, and it was just nobody would trade. It was terrible. But these are all friends and acquaintances, and it's great fun. Great fun. A lot of the writers on the Goldbergs. The Goldbergs, America's top TV show. And can I say something else? maybe Curb will be coming back. Larry and I just talked.
I mean,
I can still do Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's part of my deal.
Great.
I wouldn't take a gig.
You're making news. All right, you got to send us to break, Jeff.
I got to tell you, when I leave this booth, I'm going to have me an Acapulco taco pie. Oh, go
Hey,
Cubs. Thanks.
Love you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Play predictions and analysis. Follow the action with Cubs in-game live on CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by Comcast Business Class.
Sherholt stays in and plays right. And left-hander James Russell will do the pitching. I think we just broke some news, didn't we? Jeff Garland dropping on us.
That Curb may be back.
May be back.
Yeah. And the tone with which he said that.
Yeah, you don't drop maybe back.
Yeah, there's a real good chance he's going to be back. Well, James Russell, the last couple of years, has been one of the busiest left-handers in the game. That continues to be the trend this year. He's on for the 4th time already. Figured to be a busy weekend for the Cub left-handed relievers, Russell and Wesley Wright, with this left-handed lineup that the Phillies run out there. And dangerous left-handers at that. You turn Rollins around to the right side. You got Utley and Howard to follow.
Well, no complaints about Samardzija today. Yeah, he gave up 2 runs. You'll take that from every starter every day.
So he's made 2 starts, and the Cubs have not scored a single run in either of his starts.
It's by everybody. 1-1 on Jimmy Rollins.
And how about that finishing kick? Last 5 outs recorded by Jeff, all punch outs.
That's a strike. It's 1-2. Called strike 3 on the outer edge.
A lot of red K's going up on the scoreboard here, the scorecard, I should say. Beautiful pitch by Russell. A little backdoor slider. Nothing for 4 for Rollins today. He hasn't been an issue. This guy has, though.
Utley has been the man in this series. Bullpen yesterday unable to keep the Phillies close. 7-2 loss. If they could do it here today.
That's a good point, because we tend to focus so much on bullpens protecting leads, but a big part of their job too is just keep it close. Cubs have 6 more outs to play with. Hold the Phillies right here at 2, and you got a fighting chance.
Two and one. Right field corner, Utley on yet again. And he's got a double. Homer, walk, infield single, double.
Dare I say he's locked in? This is not a particularly good pitch. This is a hanging slider.
That double, the 300th of Chase Utley's career. Strike on Howard. Cubs shifting. Barney in shallow right. Astro playing, as you see, pretty close to the bag at second to keep Utley honest. And Olt's got to stay near third as well for that reason. Russell's 0-2. He got him on a slider.
He made a lot of quality pitches in this inning. The one mistake he made, Utley took advantage of, but other than that, James has been spot on here.
It will walk Bird intentionally with a left-handed hitting Dominic Brown on deck. A close one here today for the Cubs. Got out of hand late yesterday. The 3 one-run games in Pittsburgh.
Jeff Samardzij's line today, 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. They were earned. He walked 3, one of which was intentional. Struck out 8. And he allowed that 1 home run. So 2 starts into his season, 2 outstanding efforts. So far, nothing to show for it in the win column.
2 on, 2 down. Russell trying to get out of it here. Both outs in the inning have been strikeouts. Brown flailed at strike 1. Have gone final today. Toronto shut out the Yankees 4-0. Dickey over Pineda. Detroit edged Baltimore to go to 4-0. 7-6 the final score. They had to hang on for dear life after the Orioles got 5 in the 9th.
Just a little bit off that outside corner and down.
And pinch hitter Ike Davis with a game-ending grand slam for the Mets. 6-3 over the Reds. Happened in the bottom of the 9th. Interesting, yesterday Terry Collins said Lucas Duda is going to get a chance to play every day at first. He hit 2 home runs. And then Davis on the bench today comes off the bench and wins the game. It was after a go-ahead 2-run homer in the 8th by Brandon Phillips.
What good managing for Terry Collins.
Yeah. Reds are 1-4. 2-2 pitch. Good smother there by Castile. It's full. Minnesota dumped Cleveland 7-3. That's a final. Runners go on the 3-2, and it's wide. Ball 4 to load them up.
I think Russell made his pitch there. I don't think he necessarily wanted to throw a strike with his slider. I think he just thought if he threw one close enough, he'd get Brown to offer. And Dominic Brown showing some patience. And seen a lot of pitches out in that direction. We see a lot in the same spot. It's a little easier to recognize and lay off.
That'll be it for Russell. Justin Grimm coming on when we return. Using hashtag Cubs fan photo for a chance to have it shown during our broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T.
Well, Justin Grimm's on for the 4th time already this year, and so far so good. And he's good confrontation here with the bases juiced.
Sing Will Nieves. Here we go. Big swing and a miss.
Nieves cheating on a heater. Good slider. Grimm, a former starting pitcher. Let's throw a fastball, curve, slider, change.
Utley, Bird, Brown, the runners, 3rd to 1st. Fouled back 0-2.
Nieves has shown an inclination to swing at that high one, see if they go way upstairs with a fastball. Take one shot with a chase pitch, either a high heater, slider down in the dirt.
Ground ball. Castro flips to Barney, and Grimm gets out of it. They strand 3, getting late. Bottom of the 8th, it's 2-0. This is Jake Diekman. Saw him yesterday. He's in to face Anthony Rizzo and try to protect a 2-0 lead here in the 8th.
Good job by Cliff Lee this afternoon, as we expected, coming off a rough outing. He was really, really good today, and as Cub fans have seen time and time again, he's been outstanding against the Cubs in his career. So this is a tough assignment here for Rizzo. Talked about Diekman when he came in yesterday. Big angular left-hander who works from the third base side of the rubber, but throws across his body. He'll step towards the first base dugout and then come back across his body. He's got plus stuff. Mid-90s fastball, nasty slider.
Rizzo lined out yesterday against Diekman.
He has 2 of the 10 Cub hits this afternoon.
How about this line? 7 innings, 10 hits, no runs. Didn't walk anybody. He with 6 strikeouts.
People, you keep it in the ballpark. You pitch away from slugging percentage. Just about all but one of the hits were singles. And he's a pitch maker. He gets in a little bit of trouble. He knows how to take a little off, get you to chase his pitch.
Fly ball well hit to left, but not well enough. Brown backpedaling onto the dirt.
Good AB though for Rizzo against a tough left-hander. And I've talked a lot about it, how he really struggled against southpaws last year, and it's an area he's looking to improve in. And I think all these at-bats early against lefties may really serve him well.
It's DeFreitas. Their closer's Jonathan Papelbon, a 2-run lead on Wednesday in Texas. Kick and the pitch to Lake. He shows bunt, takes it low. Outside, 2-0. It's the Cubs closer, Jose Veras. Guessing we will see him in the ninth. Either way. Rhino made his Cub debut back in 1982, April 5th. So early on in his major league career as a manager, his record 3-1.
Sure you get a pitch here. Don't get greedy. Wow, showing bunt on 3-1. Walk works though.
The tying run will come up. It's Mike Olt.
Into the game late yesterday as a pinch hitter. This is his first start here at Wrigley Field. Great chance to make an early first impression.
Back to the pitcher. Diekman will get it to Rollins. Relay throw late. Cost him a double play, but I think in the end Diekman took a little extra time just to make sure he didn't airmail that one into center. Sometimes those throws by pitchers, which is ironic, right, can be a little tricky.
Yeah, they have a hard time throwing to the bases sometimes. And credit Olt with busting it down the line to beat the double play, because off the bat as a hitter you're thinking that's 2, I've got no chance, but he sold out, hustled down the line, kept the inning alive. Yeah, that play, it's almost either rushed or too deliberate. It's a small percentage of the time that it's executed perfectly by the pitcher.
Castillo dumps one foul into the seats. From Wymore, Nebraska, Cloud County Community College in Kansas.
Cloud, as in C-L-O-U-D?
Cloud, yeah. Ashe will pick it up. Easy play for him to end the inning. So we'll go to the ninth. It's 2-0 Phillies. .com at bat for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry 10, or Windows Phone 8. Get scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Cubs.com for more. Ninth inning, Grimm will continue with the Cubs trailing 2-0. If you're wondering, the Cubs today are 0 for 7 with men in scoring position. They've stranded 9 through 8.
Managed to get a couple around the third base, but nobody has crossed the pay station yet.
Swing and a miss by Cody Ashe.
Couple pretty nasty sliders to get him started. There's the closer for the Phils, Jonathan Papelbon.
Grimm from the windup. That missed 1 and 2. She went to the University of Nebraska, born in Missouri, St. Charles. Ball 2, 2-2. "50 games last year in his big league debut. Outside, it's full. Pinch hitter on deck, Cesar Hernandez, switch hitter. Fly ball to right. Sherholtz, sunglasses on, makes the grab.
So I guess the book on Ashe is throw him sliders. A bunch of them from Grimm.
Cesar Hernandez signed with the Phillies in 06 out of Venezuela.
A little anxious. 121 at bats for the Phillies last year, hit 289 with no home runs.
Got Freddie Galvis on the DL with a MRSA infection in his left knee. Tap foul. Two and two. Revere on deck. And looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth, the Cubs will have due up Barney, Sherholtz, and Bonifacio. Got him on the outside corner. Good fastball. Excellent location.
Change the eye level on that at bat, working up and down. You see it there on our pitch tracks, and then just made a perfect pitch. Good old number 5. Well, actually, it was good old number 1. Phillies have punched out 11 times today. Well, that's a good slider.
The ground as Grimm will work a 1-2-3 top of the ninth. This is it. Last chance for the Cubs, trailing 2-0. Still kind of waiting for something big to cheer about, as their team has been shut out on a bunch of hits through 8 innings. It'll be Jonathan Papelbon here in the 9th.
Yeah, you see Papelbon, things did not go well for him over in Arlington against the Rangers. Velocity's down. 3-4 years ago, he was averaging 95 miles an hour. Around 90-91 in that outing against the Rangers the other day. Split finger pitch has always been a big pitch for him. He also throws a slider.
And it's Ryan Kalish to bat for Barney. One ball, one strike. Cubs trail by 2. Scherholtz on deck, then Bonifacio. Third year with the Phillies for Papelbon. Now 2-1. Career he had with Boston. 7 years, a 2.33 ERA, 219 saves. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
Slung that one up there from a little bit lower arm angle. Doesn't quite have the velocity, trying to get a little more creative. That splitter not as effective when you're throwing 90 versus 95 miles an hour.
Kalish stays alive, 2-2. First inning homer by Chase Utley. 4th inning RBI single by Dominic Brown. That's been it. Pop up. And it is the aforementioned Utley in the grass to make the catch. 1 out. Papelbon makes a lot of money. $13 million his salary this year. He'll get that again next year. And he's got a vesting option for 2016. Certainly not Papelbon's fault. He's got the contract he has. It's great for him. I mean, he didn't even make $1 million in a season until 2009. It was after being the Red Sox closer for a couple of years. Ground ball hit right to Jimmy Rollins. And the Cubs down to their final chance. However, as we have talked about bullpen usage and how you develop a closer, are we getting to the point where teams are going to be very reluctant to hand out a contract like the one he got?
I think so. Yeah, I think teams are changing their thinking a little bit about how they manage ends of games and who they hand that ball to. And you know, it's pretty smart what the Red Sox did early while he was still under control and wasn't making a lot of money. Go ahead, you know, we've thrown 95 miles an hour and give him those opportunities, let him grow into that role. But now that his velocity's down and He's making $13 million to pitch an inning at a time. I'm not sure if that's a worthwhile investment. I mean, 29 saves last year. He failed 7 times.
Yeah, I mentioned that never got a $1 million contract till 09. 05 to 08 arguably was the best stretch of his career before he ever made quote big money. He had a 1.84 ERA and 113 saves over that period. And he's not an everyday player. He's not a starter. But I think Papelbon's career, not that he's been bad since, but was so good then. He fits right into what Theo talks about all the time. Young players outperforming their contracts. 1-2 the count on Bonifacio.
He's waiting back as long as possible with 2 strikes. Nieves better keep his mitt back.
Another 1-2 on the way. And Nieves just couldn't hang on to it. Boy, it's 2-0, but because of the missed chances, it feels like it's 8-0.
Yeah.
You get a guy on, all of a sudden, tying runs at the plate. All 2-2.
A good split finger pitch there from Papelbon. Bonifacio able to just get a piece.
That ball got him in the Cubs logo. Let's see. Good battle here. Bonifacio not going down without a fight. He's got 2 hits. Castro on deck has 3. Swung on and missed, and the Phillies have shut out the Cubs 2-0. Tough loss today for Jeff Samardzija, who is our GMC professional grade player of the game.
Had 2 starts and 2 very good efforts by Jeff Samardzija. No decision last time out today. A hard luck loser because Cliff Lee was so darn good for the Phillies. But Jeff outstanding today. 7 innings, 6 hits, a couple of runs. Struck out 8.
So that'll wrap things up for JD and our entire crew. Len Casper saying goodbye from Wrigley Field. The final score again, Phillies 2, Cubs nothing. We're back with you Tuesday night. Pirates and Cubs here on CSN. Cubs post-game live is next.